my loves, welcome to Tarot and Ink. I've been wanting to do this reading for a while now, so we're going to be looking at your love life relationships, but categorized down into your horoscope. So we'll be looking at things like, what's going on in love, what's coming in, what's leaving, all that kind of stuff. I am an intuitive reader, so I'm just going to tune in with the energy of whatever horoscope you have and then pull through. So it may be a confirmation because I have, loads of slips in here with like languages and places and occupation and like descriptions, all sorts are in here. You can see. So I'll be pulling that. I'll be pulling names or letters out of here, and hopefully we'll be able to make some names. You can ignore this. This is my cup of tea because I'm going to lose my voice at some point. And and I've also got a yes or no little spinny spin coin as well. So you can ask a question at the end of it, and I should hopefully get a good spin out of this. But yeah, I use the Thoth Tarot deck, which is called the Mirror to the Soul. It is known within the tarot community as being particularly accurate. we'll go with that. Brutal is another word. It is very like being punched in the face with tarot. With that, and then I have a much nicer and much gentler, the kind of love fairy oracle as well. I say gentler. I find some of these a bit harsh, really. But that's what we're going to do in this reading. So this is obviously the introduction. Please go to whichever horoscope works for you. I would just, as a basis, always go with your rising sign because it is the most accurate to what you are. So as an example, I am a Taurus because I'm born in May. I'm a very stereotypical Taurus in every sense of the word, but my rising is Gemini. So, and the rising is, what's ruled predominantly. For me, it would be Gemini and Mercury. So it's thinking and communication and being analytical and seeing things that others don't and stuff like that. That's me in a nutshell, more so than like Taurus. And obviously you have your moon. If you don't know your top 3 horoscopes, go through, there's loads of like websites that do like a free chart thing with it. I use Chani. So there's the Chani app, and Chani in general is just absolutely incredible. And this is not a plug, I don't know her, I'm just saying what I use. But yeah, the Chani app is the best thing I've ever found. And I've been doing this a long time. So I've been doing this. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Yeah, I've been reading tarot, and I've been doing this for almost 30 years. I've been doing tarot professionally for almost 20. And that's on the phones, in person, with family and friends, at events, you name it. So even though I'm quite new to YouTube, I'm not new to this. And love readings are my specialty, along with transitions as well. That's the other thing I'm good. But thank you for listening to the introduction. Please go through and find your horoscopes. And yeah, I really recommend listening, finding out what your rising sign is and listening to that one, because that will tend to be more accurate. Thank you. Oh, and please like and subscribe. It really helps me out as a new YouTuber, so I can keep making these. And everything is for entertainment purposes only. Have fun with it. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. We're channeling in the collective as well. Sorry, that's because it's like Aries season. I'm wanting to be like, let's get into this. But that's what I'm going to do now. So yeah, thank you. Please find your horoscope in the timestamps. Hello. I appreciate this is a bit random. I am using a filter so that I can remain anonymous. But you may have noticed that in the introduction I said there will be timestamps for your sign. There are no timestamps. I have uploaded every single sign separately. So there are 12.
I can't count. There are 12 videos, each with different signs. So Aries, you have your own. Taurus, you have your own. Yada, 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 yada. With anything else, I promise you I am a very serious tarot reader. I know what I'm doing. It's all good. But yeah, I didn't anticipate how big one massive video would be. And my phone cried. So it is what it is. But yeah, on to your reading. Please enjoy. Thank you so much.
Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your love reading. It is Aries season. Not your favourite season for Virgos, generally speaking. But yeah, it's one that you can do, quite well in. I'm surrounded by, there's two signs I'm surrounded by in my family, which are Leo, Virgo, and actually Pisces. And my sister is the most stereotypical Virgo there is. We'll be having a conversation and she's like, oh, do you remember that time, you were 4 and I was 1 and and like she starts, like a young Sheldon type brain. And that's a stereotypical Virgo kind of thing. And, your time in Aries, you're not known as a brash sign. So this time, especially during love, because you love to analyze everything. And I feel like for some of you Virgos in particular, you feel a bit like, are you going crazy? Are you the only one that's seeing these certain things or these patterns or whichever? So yeah, your reading's going to be really interesting. I've been really looking forward to it. So let's give it a spin. I read intuitively, like I said in the introduction. So I'm not 100% sure what's going to come up. We're going to find out. But we are just going to, some of you need to unclench and just relax, please, as I pull into the Virgo collective. Immediately I'm starting to get toothache. It's my back left wisdom tooth, and mine are out. So some of you need to make a trip to the dentist. Hello. We want you. What else do we want for Virgos? My gorgeous Virgos. I feel like you are the most, and I can say this as a Taurus, I feel like you are the most devoted sign out of everyone. When I think of like loyalty, I think of Virgos. I mean, you're not a sign to mess with in any sense. You're not a forgive and forget. You're a forgive and remember kind of sign. But you're not. When you love so profoundly and so deeply. You are so loyal to a fault. I think Virgos are wonderful. Where are we going? We're going here. I still want to pull. Thank you. Where do you want to go? You want to go there. And I'm still pulling. You want to go here. And there. There you are. I can feel you. So this is the Thoth Tarot deck. One of my absolute favorite decks. It's the first one that started speaking to me. I've been using this deck for 30 years. Nearly 30 years, which is insane. Where am I putting you? I'll put you up. I'll put you up there, put you above the ancestry. So let's look at this placement. We have some qualifiers. Strife. Defeat, oh Virgo, and Hermit. And then we had qualifiers. So, yep. This is making sense. Yeah. It was like that, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, truth is kind of it's what I attribute to a Virgo anyway. It's, just finding the kind of truth in the matter, in the sense of it's not peace, but let's just pause for a second and we'll both like gather our evidence, take a minute, it's that kind of thing. We'll come to an agreement, a truce, it's that. It's not necessarily peace. They're two different things. So let's look at where you are in love. That wanted to fly it again. So strife. Strife is about a block of emotions. And if you, I feel like some of you are readers and you are tarot readers and you're looking in, I feel like there's a couple of people who use the Rider Waite, because I'm seeing that in my head. The Thoth Tarot deck is different as an interpretation. I mean, there are loads of fantastic books as well. It's a fantastic deck to kind of really get into. Um, every time I use these and look at these, I'll see something different. Like for your sign, I'm really drawn to these snakes. I don't know if you can see. One's kind of looking, one's facing left but looking the other way, and the other one is facing the other way and looking that way. So it's a bit like you've got for love. I'm getting the kind of fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, kind of shame on you, and all of that kind of thing. Because I'm getting this feeling of, you're wanting to look forward. You want, for some of these singles, you want new love. You're not really a kind of sign that likes to get into complicated relationships. You like things ironed out. Yeah, in that way. And I'll talk about couples in a second. And with single, it's like you're looking forward, you're looking for, the potential of new love, and it that romantic kind of feeling, but you're also looking back and being like, I'm aware of my trauma, I'm aware of the burns and the scars, and I'm going to try and look forward, but I'm definitely facing the past here, with this. And you're not, and this is why I went to, at the beginning, you're not a forgive and forget kind of sign, you're a forgive and remember. You gather the data, analyze it, and don't let it kind of hurt you again. And even for couples, there's a lot of you sort of looking or re-looking at the behavior of your partner and going, am I actually going to have to repeat myself? And I feel like some of you have quite a few of these moments where, your partner will say something and you're there being like, yeah, because I'm the one that told you that. It's that moment as well. And I feel like there's a little bit of there's a block of emotion. I feel like for some of you, you're just kind of playing nice with some people when it comes to love and romance and all the rest of it. Some of you have a real thing about just not being listened to, and rightly so, because you're not. With that, yeah, it's this is really about a block of emotions, and some of you, especially singles, are like, I cannot be asked to go on dating sites and play nice and deal with small talk. You're not a small talk kind of sign. A lot of you are hermits in that way of, and this is what I'm picking up, and there are obviously exemptions, but I feel like a lot of you are like, if I'm going to be in a relationship, they better just knock on my door, come in and be like, hi, I'm Prince Charming or Princess Charming or your significant other, and you'll still be like, I'm kind of busy. So I love Virgos. You're so funny. As a Taurus, I feel you for that. Earth signs are similar in lots of different ways. You've got the 5 here of Swords as defeat. The thing is about defeat, you turn it around. Obviously, the Pentacle is there as protection, and I feel like you're kind of doing both. You're over analyzing, so all of these spikes that you see. Let me try and get it without the glare. There we go. All of these spikes that you see, kind of here, are, when you see them in the Thoth deck, it's about overthinking, over analyzing, trying to take things in from every perspective. And there's a real control issue. And I feel like you picked that up from Leo's as well. But this is partly about, you can't overanalyze love. You can't overanalyze feelings and emotions and relationships. And I know that's a difficult thing to hear. You can't think your way into love. It is a feeling, it is an emotion, and you're very sensitive. And a lot of times I feel like Virgos are kind of so analytical or so not controlling, but there's almost this need to know. You need to know how certain things are going to come about, what are the steps, what is the plan. It's that kind of orientation, analytical mindset, and you can't do that with emotions and feelings. You just can't. You have to feel everything. And it's the same thing with romances, and unfortunately you do have to do a bit of small talk. It is a way. It's the way, and you have to get out your house and actually meet people. as well. Because when you turn defeat around, there is this kind of protection. There's this kind of feeling of, I really want to just protect myself. I really want to avoid these feelings. And the fact that it is over power. So power, and move this over. So power is really about setting your foundations in. And this always reminds me of like either a home or a workplace. And you are in your power, you're in your element, you're in your base, and it's almost like you're locked in your castle and you're in your bubble. And it's that thing of, my significant other better just knock on the door and, tell me they're here. They better come to me because you're not going to them. And this is the kind of vibe. And I really want to say to you, get out of that. This is predominantly my singles, although I feel like for a lot of you couples, I want to ask, when was the last time you went on a date with your partner as well and enjoyed it? Not just a date, but actually went out and did something fun and enjoyed it. And I appreciate you. Not all of you will want to hear that. You've got the Hermit card as well, and I love the Hermit card. And again, you've got that. Can you see another animal kind of here and then here? We're looking forward, and then we've got one looking back. Then there's the slight enjoyment, the kind of hope here, but Cerberus, one of his head is still looking back. And I don't know if you can see the kind of shadiness. See the eyes? The kind of shadiness, how that one's like looking the other way. Let me put that back there. But yeah, I think the Hermit, embraces everything that is about Virgo. I mean, you still hold your hope in your hands. There's still sort of new life and creation as well. You're always facing the universe. You're great manifestors. You see the spikes as they come over the Hermit. So that is the overthinking in some aspects taking over, and the battle between kind of overthinking and hope as well for some of you. So yeah, and the fact that we have it laid out like this, so you've got power kind of overarching those, which is saying what's going on in the inner world, as well as how that's actually showing. And then obviously these coming out, which is for couples, it's a truce. In relationships, and again, more overthinking. And the colors are really significant. You see there's a lot of purple. So a purple is for me anyway, is about kind of regalness. It's about protection. Like, we're not quite in our emotional depth. We're not in the blue, but we're not in the blue. If that makes sense. We're kind of skimming on our emotions here, Virgo. And there's a real kind of truce and regalness. I always see this sort of middle bit as a little bit like, those kind of Shakespearean neck pieces. I think it's World Shakespeare Day as well, so that'd be really fitting. This gives me that kind of vibes. You're willing to bring a truce to a situationship. You're not a like a drama kind of sign. You don't really like drama at all. You do tend to be a rescuer. Virgos, you do tend to, although there's a lot of people that will make you out to be the perpetrator in the drama triangle. Let me just explain the drama triangle. So you imagine a triangle. You have the villain at the top. You have on the right the rescuer, and the left perpetrator. Give or take the roles round, but that's the way I always see it. The perpetrator is the villain, and if you take any relationship, if you just take three people, you will notice in that dynamic who is the villain, this side, who is the victim, and who is the rescuer. You see that when you have, say, your friend who just talks about how all the bad things their partner does. You, in that instance, would be the rescuer. Your friend is the victim. Their partner is the villain, is the perpetrator within that role. And we constantly live our lives in that triangle. And you can get out, and it's really good to kind of get out of that as well, so that drama doesn't perpetuate. And in that instance, you want to listen to your friend, but you also want to be like, so tell me all the good things that they do, because I guarantee there will be so many good things. And I'm not talking about in relationships that are, abusive or anything like that. I'm talking about a standard relationship. You see it in families a lot, especially with, if you have like two boys and a dad, or two girls and a dad, or whoever else, or just siblings in general. you'll always have the villain sibling, the victim sibling, and the rescuer. And then obviously there's a parent dynamic that comes in there. So the parent will either be a victim or a villain or a rescuer in that instance. I really hope that's making sense. Go have a look at the drama triangle. But it leads into this because I feel like a lot of you, especially in couples, are just having a truce about a situation. I'm getting this idea of a triangle between a person, a Virgo person, their partner, and their kind of mother or father-in-law or whichever else. Obviously, when I say male or female, girl or boy, whichever, I'm more talking about energies, more feminine and masculine. So please just take however that kind of resonates, or which one you kind of feel like more relates than anything else. Not the gender, I mean the energy. With that, just to make that very, very clear. But yeah, I feel like that's for couples, whereas with singles, and there's not, maybe one or two people that are in it, it's complicated, and I don't feel like you'll be in that for too long because you don't like it. It unnerves you, Virgo. But for the singles, this is more about an inner truce with what you want in terms of a relationship. And I want to tell some of you not to lower your standards. You don't need to. Keep your standards high. I'm not saying to the point where, you know, nobody is worth going in terms of like coming into your life. But your very base standards, you want someone to be moralistically like this, or, you know, all of those kind of stuff, absolutely fine. The star is about taking your situation and crystallizing it and making it better. And this is your analytical mind. This is your skill. This is also the way you manifest, and you see the way you're kind of basking in that star kind of shine there. As well, it's about taking something, moving it in a cleansing kind of circle. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's your thoughts as well, and the way you kind of come into truth here. Yes, I'm going to pick a romance card for you. And this is your advice. Oh, I'll do it on screen, sorry. So, I hope that helps. I hope that resonates. It is a lot of energies to try and pick up and talk about. So I hope you are able to grab something. We want this one. What will help you? True love. You are, I think, the third sign out of the 7 signs that I've done that I've got this card. This is your, let me find it without a glare. Kind of. There we go, ish. This is your true love. I'll move over here. Your true love sign. And when I see this, and I'm hearing it right now, which is my favorite movie ever is The Princess Bride. It's probably one of my favorite books as well. One of those rare things where the movie is actually better than the books, or the book, I should say. But I always hear that little, you know, when it in, I'm not gonna do the accent, but when he's like marriage, true love, you can't think your way into true love. You can't fight true love. You can't, like, true love will always find a way. And I think that's something that you need to remember as your main advice, because I think you put a lot of pressure on yourselves, Virgo, that when you're all or nothing, like you meet someone and it's either they fit that true love credential, or, you know, they're not the person, or the other way in a case of, you know, you'll never find true love. Da, 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 da. And I want to say to you, just kind of, I mean, true love starts not just in yourself, but in finding true love in everything that you do. True love in your work, true love in, you know, everything else, as well, and cultivating those bits of true love and that romance. And you can't do anything to stop true love. It's going to happen. That was a long-winded way of saying that, but yeah. So that is your cards. That is your advice. I hope that helps. I am going to move these because we are going to take your letters. So give me a second to get set up. As I move those there. And then, if I can pick the card up. Oh my god, nails. There we go. And then we're also going to do a yes or no coin. And I'm also going to pick out in here I have loads of really specific, if I can get things open, I'm getting my nails done soon, really specific things in here, you know, like meeting your true love on a work trip into China, or they could be Chinese. They could, you know, all of that kind of stuff. So this might be a little noisy. Give me a sec. Use our left hand. I want to like get in there. There we go. S&T is important. There we go. We're done. So give me a sec to turn these around. Some of you are morning people, and some of you are definitely not morning people. Some of you think better in the morning. I'm getting AM. Right, as I turn these around, I'm just going to say thank you so much for watching. If you are still here, I hope things resonate. I'm one of those tarot readers that when I channel, I have immediately forgotten my entire message as I'm channeling. So I've already forgotten what I've told you. So yeah, please let me know if things resonate. If things don't, if you want me to clarify certain things, these will get better as I, you know, am able to multitask and work out how YouTube tarot works. As well, and which energies to pick up on and anything else. But yeah, if you could like and subscribe so I can keep making those. There we go. Really helps. Let me know in the comments as well if you know, with any feedback, if there's anything you want me to adjust or look into or go into some more. I could probably do like a sign for just singles and a sign for just couples, and everyone else in between. Let me know. So these are your letters. Let's see if we can spell things out. So immediately, obviously, it's Sir. I'm getting like a really posh. Oh, there's a military aspect because it's like Sir, yes, sir, in my head, and then the other one, it's like Sir, sir. It's more of a kind of posh, like sure, kind of thing. That was slightly more on the verge of Sean Connery, but anyway, sure. What have we got? Bet. You are betting on something. You are betting on true love. I saw loan as well while putting this up. We got an R, a loner. Some of you feel like an absolute loner, and you're not. Lan. Somebody is, I mean, their name could be Lan, or nickname shortened to Lan. Could also be, I'm hearing some other names, but Lan could also be somebody who works in IT, who works with Lan, or land. Have we got a D? Yeah, we have. Someone who works with the land, like a farmer kind of thing. I think we have farm. Can we do another R? No, we got farm. Someone lives in the country. Yeah, Pete. We got an I. Yeah. Is that how you spell Pete? Oh, Morrigan's gone. Sorry, Morrigan. I don't know how you spell. So Pete, not just as the name. P-E-T. I am super dyslexic, by the way. So the way I spell things and the way I see things is going to be slightly different. Peat. So again, somebody that works with peat in the land, the soil and stuff. Someone could be called Peter. I think we can. Yeah. I was also hearing the name Sebastian. I was looking at the SQ, and for some reason that brought up the name Sebastian as well. Fam. Someone could be in connection with family as well. Now I look at Peter, I think of Spider-Man. This is hilarious. J. I mean, J itself is just a letter. Yeah, like I said, I'm super dyslexic. So please have a look. I'll give you a second. Some of you can screenshot this. Please write it down in the comments because it's really, really helpful. Everyone's going to see different letters. I'm seeing London now. Yeah, I'm seeing London. BJ, that's hilarious. Because I'm really immature. Yeah, I'm gonna put this away. I'll put these over here. So yeah, please write them down. put them in the comments. Just help each other out, because I, like I said, I'm super dyslexic and won't see stuff. Someone's a Star Wars fan, because I'm getting like Jabba the Hutt. I don't think we can spell. We haven't got a H, have we? No. You watch me spell Hutt wrong. So let me pull these out. I close my eyes, take a deep breath. Somebody is really big into music. I feel like there's somebody that's watching this that tends to break out into song at really random, awkward moments, like in a work meeting. Ooh, we got a few. Okay. So, analytical. That is you and quite possibly your significant other. Although I feel like, I don't know how else to say this, but I feel like some of you are in a relationship with a partner who is not dumb. Dumb is it's not dumb. They might just be not quite as they might be lacking in common sense. We'll go sometimes. I feel like it's one of those people you look at and think, how do you tie your shoelaces in the morning? Like that. It's that kind of thing. I feel like, not to insult some of your partners. And some of you, I'm getting D&D as well. Some of you absolute dork and nerds. Someone could be really, love animals, into animal care, veterinary stuff. Oh, you got work trip. Didn't you get that at the beginning when I was just using that as an example? Grey, silver hair. Someone could work in healthcare, mental health. Someone could be a life coach. Someone is very serious. I feel like that's more of you, Virgo. Zimbabwe is up here. Someone has very kind eyes. Someone could be from Asia, or be Asian, or love to go to Asia, or different parts throughout Asia. There are places broken down further than just being like Asia. Oh, yeah, go. Western Punjabi, Canadian. Someone's a student. We also have Singapore. We have Thailand. Palestine, Palestinian. Speaks another language. We you. Kolkata. Jordan. Somewhere new. So you meet them, if you haven't met them already, somewhere new, or could be going somewhere new if you go on that date. Someone is a bit of a peacemaker, so that's you. That's going back to that kind of truce aspect. Hawaii, someone's really dreaming about going to Hawaii. Bengali, North America, American, film star, movie lover as well. So with these places, as with everything, take it how it resonates. It might be the case that you and your partner really want to go to Canada, which is a really nice place, by the way. I've had the pleasure of going there. Some of you want to start learning Western Punjabi or another language. Some of you meet your significant person in Singapore. Say if you're going to, I'm getting Australia. Yeah, I'm getting Australia. So some of you can meet your significant other at a transfer in Singapore. I feel like you can transfer. I don't know. That's what I'm getting. So maybe. Yeah, some of you, could continuously be a student. Oops. As a not student away. I feel like if you work in healthcare and medical care and, with mental health as well, you're constantly a student because you're constantly learning. Life coach would go, well with mental health and a lot of aspects there. But that's what you've got. So I'll give you a second. I hope it resonates. Please let me know. I spent like 9 hours plus doing all of these, and there's loads of different kind of places and languages and countries, and I feel like I'm just knocking everything over. But we're gonna do your coin. I'm gonna try and get a really good spin on it. I might just move these up. So, you got no, you've got yes. If there's not a good spin, because sometimes there isn't, that I would take as a maybe. So if you take a deep breath for me, I feel like some of you need to go to an osteopath to just click your back because I'm getting some back pain. But yeah, Take a deep breath. Virgo, yes or no? Good spin. The answer is a no. Let's do it one more time. Because I know some of you would be like, do it again. Okay, well, the answer was yes. So let's try that again. One more. This is the decider. Hang on, that was an awful spin. There we go. Okay, so yes. I don't know what the first no was about. Maybe you asked some different questions. So yeah, there we go. There we go. I will get the camera angles right at some point. But thank you very much, Virgo. That was a real pleasure. I really enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe. It helps me make some more of these. And if there's anything kind of specific or any requests or suggestions or whichever else, please just let me know. And obviously, please in the comments put down any letters you see. It does help, like, each of you out as well. And yeah, if this isn't your rising sign, please go have a look at your rising sign as well. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you.